Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Mike McCarthy sends message to critics about RB Group. The Dallas Cowboys needed to draft a running back. So, naturally, in the most Dallas Cowboys form, they refused to do so. Instead, Jerry Jones decided to rebuild his decimated offensive line, which was a valid and necessary approach. The Cowboys lost starter Tony Pollard to the Tennessee Titans, and while he didn't live up to the expectations as a workhorse back, they had more than enough options in free agency. Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, Derrick Henry, Gus Edwards, Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler, and Aaron Jones were all free agents at some point. Now, they're more likely to bring back an aging Ezekiel Elliott. Nonetheless, as underwhelming as their RB room might seem right now, HC Mike McCarthy still has the utmost confidence in them. According to Michael Gehlken, the former Green Bay Packers coach stated that his running backs have plenty of upside because of their youth, and he hopes they'll be better in their second year playing in the offense. It's a young group, but they all have upside. I think they'll be better in the second year of the offense. I feel really about where we are today, and it's not over, McCarthy said. As of now, the Cowboys have a running back core consisting of Rico Dowdle, Royce Freeman, Malik Davis, and Deuce Vaughn. Dak Prescott has been at his best when relying on the running game, and we've already seen how things pan out when he's forced to take over and lead the team on his own. This doesn't bode well for their already realistic Super Bowl aspirations, and barring a major turn of events or a shocking trade, this is going to be a very long season in Arlington. Cowboys sign receiver after breakout season amid roster moves. Report: the Dallas Cowboys added several undrafted free agents just minutes after the 2024 NFL Draft ended. One of these first signings included Northwestern wideout Cam Johnson. Per Draft Network's Justin Mello, the receiver is coming off the best statistical season of his collegiate career. Johnson posted 54 receptions for 715 yards and 6 touchdowns in 2023. The playmaker spent his first 4 seasons at Vanderbilt, then transferred to Arizona State. After one season with the Sun Devils, Johnson joined Northwestern. During a March 5, 2024 interview with Mello, Johnson labeled the Cowboys as one of the teams who showed the most interest during the pre-draft process. All of my interviews went well, Johnson told Draft Network. Honestly, every meeting felt so different. The teams that really stood out, the ones that I felt like really liked me, were the Cowboys, 49ers, Ravens, and Titans. I felt like they liked me a lot. They really liked my game. Cowboys UDFA News. Dallas signed tight end Brevin Spann. Ford. Dallas also signed another receiving threat in Minnesota, tight end Brevin Spann Ford. Per the Dallas Morning News, Michael Gehlken, the 6'7" tight end gives Dak Prescott another big receiving target if Spann Ford is able to make the final roster. Another promising young tight end for the Cowboys. They have agreed to terms with former Minnesota Tay Brevin Spann Ford, a person familiar with the deal said. Gehlken detailed in an April 27 message on X, he is 6'6", 260 pounds, with a large catch radius. Dynamic inline option to compete for opportunity in 2024. Spann Ford's best collegiate season came in 2022 when the tight end posted 42 catches for 497 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. NFL.com's Lance Zierlein gave Spann Ford a 7th-round grade in his pre-draft evaluation of the tight end. Big tight end with the frame of an inline wide receiver but the playing style of a move tight end, Zierlein detailed in his pre-draft profile. Spann Ford showed some improvement in his run blocks in 2023, but sustaining them and blocking with accuracy in space is still a work in progress. He's a little heavy-legged on zone beater routes underneath and lacks instincts to span. Ford struggled badly with drops and contested catches this past season, but teams might be intrigued by the potential matchup issues he could create as a big slot target. Cowboys rumors. Dallas plans at running back remain a mystery. Dallas did not use one draft pick to add a running back. This, despite owner Jerry Jones speaking glowingly about Texas running back Jonathan Brooks after the first round. The Carolina Panthers took Brooks with the number 46 overall selection in the second round, well before the Cowboys were on the clock at number 56. While this could change, Dallas also has not signed an undrafted running back in any of their initial moves following the draft. ESPN's Todd Archer reported that a reunion with Ezekiel Elliott looks more and more likely. The Cowboys met with Elliott and his agent, Rocky Arsenault, earlier this week to discuss a potential reunion. Archer wrote in an April 27th story titled, Cowboys Closer to Ezekiel Elliott Reunion Amid RB Shortage. Then Elliott and Arsenault happened to go to the same restaurant, D. Lincoln Prime, where the Cowboys were holding a scouts dinner. Jones said he still believes Elliott can be a starting-level running back. Cowboys ball hawk signing issues forward post-draft statement. When the weekend's draft came to a close on Saturday, the Cowboys and teams around the NFL remained in high gear. That's because one of the underrated portions of the selection process is what happens when the process itself is over. The teams go scrambling to get camp commitments from all the undrafted free agents who did not get their names called in the 7th-round pick-a-thon. The Cowboys entered the free agent phase with a pretty clear intention. They were going to get some defensive back help, specifically at safety. Of the 11 players tallied as undrafted signees on Saturday at Cowboys.com, 3 were safeties. One of those safeties who might have the best chance at sticking is former three-star recruit Julius Wood from East Carolina. Wood led the Pirates in tackles each of the past 2 seasons, with 87 in 2022 and 86 last year, and totaled 5.5 tackles for a loss. He also logged 2 interceptions in each of his last 2 seasons. Even though he was not drafted, Wood was pretty clearly pleased by the end result on Saturday. In a response to an ECU post announcing his signing with the Cowboys, Wood posted on Twitter X, "How about them boys? Safety help is welcome in Dallas. The Cowboys would welcome safety help. A spot at which the team is badly in need of depth. Malik Hooker is a top-rate starter at free safety who recorded a season grade of 77.2 last year, which was 14th out of 95 safeties in the NFL, but strong safety Donovan Wilson rated as 66.2, just 53rd out of 95, and depth is a concern. Cowboys did draft a cornerback using 5th-rounder from Kalen Carson of Wake Forest. In addition to Wood, the Cowboys signed safeties Emini Johnson out of Nevada and Josh DeBerry from Texas A&M. All 3 are long shots to actually make the 53-man roster in September, but they will have training camp to prove themselves and could at least spots on the practice squad, and eventually, perhaps, spots on the active team. The team's website was enthusiastic about Wood's prospects going forward. A physical, hard-hitting ball hawk, Julius Wood's aggression puts him out of position at times, but when he is in position, he makes some big hits. A productive tackler out of the 3rd level, Wood reads and reacts well and uses his slender frame to account for more physical receiving weapons, reporter Nick Harris wrote. Cowboys draft dominated by linemen. As for the Cowboys in general, it was clear what the priorities were in this draft. The team was criticized for not taking a running back, despite several hints that they would do so after letting star back Tony Pollard walk in free agency in March. But Dallas figures to fill that hole with a low-cost free agent signing. Instead, the priority was beefing up the middle of the field on both sides of the ball. The Cowboys used 2 of their first 3 picks on offensive linemen, including first-rounder Tyler Guyton, and picked 5 linemen overall with their 8 draft picks. That is not a surprise, given that the Cowboys lost 2 starters, center Tyler Biadasz and left tackle Tyron Smith, in free agency, but it helped that this was a very good draft to be on the hunt for linemen. We weren't even trying to be coy about our interest in offensive linemen. Owner and general manager Jerry Jones said, per ESPN, "This is the year to be interested in them because of the depth in the draft, and we took advantage of that in every respect with a great trade."